Oh, come on. America, have you ever stopped and asked yourself why Democrats flood the airwaves with tears for illegal immigrants crossing our borders? But when it comes to American girls and women who've been raped, beaten, or killed by those same people, it's crickets? I mean, seriously, where's the outrage for our own? Hey there, Patriots. It's me, your favorite outspoken conservative Midwestern mom, coming at you from the heartland where we still believe in common sense and protecting our families first. And I'm not some polished talking head in a suit, obviously. I'm a mom who's raised kids in this crazy world, paid my taxes, and watched as politicians play games with our safety. And today, I'm fired up about why I support ICE. That's immigration and customs enforcement for anyone who's been living under a rock. And it's because the left seems to have zero compassion for the real victims right here in America. Stick around, guys, because what I'm about to share might just make your blood boil. And trust me, you won't want to miss how this all ties back to the mess in Washington. Oh, and if you're new here, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell. I drop truth bombs a few times a week, and you don't want to be left out. Okay, let's get into it. Picture this. A young girl walking home from school, minding her own business, and then... But wait, I'll get back to that story in a little bit. First, I need to lay out why this hit so close to home for me. As a mom living in Missouri, I've seen the headlines, and frankly, they've kept me up at night. Illegal immigrants pouring over the border, committing heinous crimes, and the media? They bury it. Democrats? They deflect. But me? I'm done with the silence. Let's talk about the forgotten victims. The ones who don't get celebrity fundraisers or viral hashtags. I'm talking about American girls and women who've been brutalized by illegal immigrants. And let me tell you, the stories, they're gut-wrenching. Take Laken Riley, that beautiful college student in Georgia who was out for a jog and never came home because an illegal from Venezuela decided her life didn't matter. Democrats wail about family separations at the border. But for Laken's family, not a peep. And it's not just one case. Do you remember Molly Tibbetts in Iowa? That was right in my Midwestern backyard, folks. Iowa is my home state. Molly was kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by an illegal immigrant from Mexico who'd been here for years, working under the radar. Her own dad tried to defend immigrants at her funeral. But come on. That's obviously the pressure from the left talking. And where were the tears from Kamala Harris or AOC for Molly? Instead, they push for sanctuary cities that harbor these criminals. But here's where it gets even more infuriating. These are not isolated incidents. According to multiple reports I've dug into, thousands of American women have suffered at the hands of people who shouldn't even be here in the first place. Rapes, assaults, murders, and the Biden-Harris administration? Crickets. They rolled back Trump-era policies that kept us safe. Now that they allowed millions to cross unchecked, who's next? You? Your neighbor? Your kid? But don't change the channel yet. I've got more proof coming up that'll make you question everything. And if this is resonating with you, drop a like below. It helps spread the word to more patriots like us. Now, imagine being a mom like me, tucking your kids in at night, knowing that the border was wide open. It's not xenophobia, it's reality. And ICE? They're the thin blue line standing between us and that chaos. But the Democrats want to defund them, abolish them even. And why? Because votes matter more than the victims do. Hold on though, let's not forget about the 12-year-old girl in Texas who was strangled and dumped in a creek by two illegals here from Venezuela. Jocelyn Nungari, say her name. Her mom is devastated, begged for justice, but the left was too busy virtue signaling about compassion for migrants. Compassion? Where's the frickin' compassion for this child? Or her mother? This is why I support ICE with every fiber of my being. They're out there deporting these threats. But every time a Democrat blocks them, another American pays the price. But hold on, y'all, there's a twist. Some of these criminals have been deported multiple times, and they just waltz back in. How does that even happen? Stay tuned. I'm about to expose the policies that enable this nightmare. Shifting gears a little bit, let's give a shout out to the real heroes, ICE agents. These men and women put their lives on the line every day to enforce our laws and keep dangerous people out of our country. They're not the villains the media paints them as. No, they're the ones rounding up gang members, drug traffickers, and yes, those who've committed unspeakable acts against our women and girls. I support ICE because without them, we'd be overrun. Think about it. Under Trump the first time around, ICE deportations were up. Crimes by illegals were down, and our communities were safer. But then, Biden comes in with his catch and release policy, making it a free-for-all. Thankfully, Trump 2.0 is back and taking care of business that Biden and company completely ignored. But ICE agents are handcuffed by bureaucracy, and Democrats cheer it on. As a conservative mom, I say enough is enough. We need to fund ICE, empower them, and let them do their friggin' job. But here's a cliffhanger for you. What if I told you that some Democrats have compared ICE to the KKK? Yeah, that's right. That's the level of insanity we're dealing with here. Coming up, I'll break down their hypocrisy and why it's costing American lives. First, though, let's chat down in the comments. Do you support ICE? Tell me why or why not down below. I read every comment and I might just shout you out in the next video. Okay, back to it. ICE isn't just about deportation. It's about prevention. They target human traffickers who exploit women and children at the border. Remember those heartbreaking images of kids in cages? Well, that started under Obama, but of course the left blames Trump. And now, with fentanyl pouring in, killing our youth, ICE is fighting that too. Supporting ICE means supporting a secure America, where moms like me don't have to worry about who's lurking in the shadows. But the left calls them Gestapo. Give me a frickin' break. These are dedicated public servants, many of them immigrants themselves, upholding the rule of law. Without ICE, we'd have no control, and the victims? They'd just keep piling up. And don't get me started on the abolish ICE crowd. They scream about systemic racism, but ignore the systemic danger to American women. Hypocritical much? Hold that thought. I've got examples that'll make your jaw drop. Okay, let's call this what it is. Democrats' deadly hypocrisy on immigration. They shed crocodile tears for migrants separated at the border, which, by the way, is necessary to verify who's really family and who's trafficking. But when an American woman is violated by an illegal, they look the other way. Why? Because it doesn't fit their narrative of diversity or inclusion. Take Nancy Pelosi. She dismissed MS-13 as spark of divinity, or whatever nonsense she said. Tell that to the families of girls gang raped by those animals. Or how about AOC, crying at an empty parking lot for a photo op, but then silent on the rapes in her own backyard? As a Midwestern mom, I'm over it. We work hard, follow the rules, and expect our leaders to protect us, not pander to potential voters. But here's the kicker. Democrats push for amnesty, which rewards lawbreakers. Meanwhile, ICE is vilified for enforcing the laws that Congress passed. If they don't like the laws, change them legally. Don't undermine the enforcers. Make that make sense. This hypocrisy is killing us. Literally. Statistics show crimes by illegals are underreported, but even the ones we know about are horrific. What about Kate Steinle, shot in San Francisco by an illegal who'd been deported 5 times? You heard that right. 5 times. The city protected him, and Democrats defended the sanctuary policy. No tears for Kate, just excuses. It's maddening. And then, with Kamala as border czar, We saw record crossings and record tragedies. She, of course, laughed it off, but I'm not laughing. Supporting ICE means rejecting the farce. Imagine now if the roles were reversed. Would they care then? Well, probably not, because it's all politics. But stay with me. I've got personal stories from moms like me that will hit you hard. Hey now, if you're fired up, share this video with a friend who needs to hear it. Let's wake up America together. Now, let's get real with some stories that break my heart as a mom. I remember reading about Rachel Morin, a Maryland mother of 5, raped and murdered while hiking by an illegal from El Salvador. He fled his country after killing another woman over there. How did he even get here? Open borders, folks. Democrats talk about women's rights. But where were they for Rachel? No marches, no outrage, just more funding for migrant shelters. Then there's the 13-year-old girl in New York that I started talking about at the beginning. Assaulted in broad daylight by an Ecuadorian illegal. Tied up with shoelaces and violated. It's nightmare fuel. And the perp? He bragged about it on video. ICE wanted him deported earlier, but sanctuary laws blocked it and protected him. Thanks again, Democrats. As a conservative mom, these aren't just headlines. They're warnings. I hug my kids tighter, teach them to be vigilant, because the government, they won't. Supporting ICE is my way of fighting back. But what about the unreported cases? Women too scared to come forward because the media twists it into racism. It's a vicious cycle. And hold on, did you know some illegals are released with court dates years away? What happens? They vanish, commit crimes, and poof! Suddenly there's another victim. Coming up, I'll explain the true cost of open borders beyond the headlines. Speaking of costs, open borders aren't just about compassion. They're a disaster for our wallets, our safety, and our society. Billions in taxpayer dollars go to housing, feeding, and educating illegals while American veterans sleep on the streets. That is not okay. As a Midwesterner on a budget, that infuriates me. But the human cost? Priceless lives lost. Women brutalized. Families destroyed. And Democrats? They virtue signal while our communities crumble. ICE could stop this if empowered. But the left ties their hands. Remember the caravan invasions? That's not migration, folks. That's invasion. And the drugs? Fentanyl killing more Americans than ever, smuggled by cartels exploiting the chaos. ICE intercepts tons, but it's never enough with porous borders. Supporting ICE means saving our kids from this poison. But here's a shocker. Some Democrats profit from this. Big business loves cheap labor, and politicians get donations. It's corrupt as hell. As a mom, I see right through it. We need walls, tech, and yes, more ICE agents. What if your town becomes the next sanctuary city horror story? It's happening everywhere. Iowa is full of sanctuary cities. Stay tuned for why backing ICE is the only sane choice. Bottom line, supporting ICE saves lives. They're not rounding up dreamers. They're targeting criminals. Deport the bad ones, let the good ones apply legally. Simple, right? But Democrats complicate it with equity talk. Equity? Tell that to the widows and orphans left behind. From my conservative viewpoint, it's about priorities. America first. ICE embodies that. They've removed hundreds of thousands of threats, but the left wants them gone. And why? Power, plain and simple. Open borders mean more dependence, more votes. Cynical, right? As a witty mom cutting through the noise, I say wake up. Support ICE by calling your reps, voting conservative, and spreading the word. It saves American girls and women every day. But imagine a world without ICE. Chaos. That's the Democrat dream, but not mine. All right, patriots, it's time to stand up. If you've made it this far, you're as passionate about this as I am. Please like this video so YouTube doesn't bury it, and subscribe for more unfiltered takes, and share it far and wide. Let's pressure Washington to back ICE fully. What can you do today? Pray for the victims, educate your friends, and vote out the hypocrites. Together, we protect our families. And hey, check out my video on immigration enforcement, right up here. So there you have it. Why I'm all in for ICE. Because American lives matter more than political points. Don't let the left silence us. Keep fighting. See you next time. Or will the censors strike first? Bye.